Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your patience. It has paid off. We're back. We're here, and we have an STV that's live. My name is Row. Dreamboat is with me. We've got a lovely cast of analysts. We might talk about them, but I'm assuming these gamers want to get right to the game, so we're just going to quickly hop into some pregame shenanigans. Dreamboat, talk to me. What do we have here? Dreamboat? Dreamboat has left the building, but that's okay because I'm here. I'm Ro, and we're just gonna quickly run through the rosters. If you don't already know it, froyotech's rocking that Banny and Yomps combo. Or that's a
Hi.
Yomps is on soldier. Slemnish is the scout for Froyotech. Habib on demo, Shade on medic, Yomps on soldier, and Blaze as the roamer. Dreamboat is here, so you can do
Yeah.
Ascent.
Apparently, my push to talk did the thing where it
I
unbound
got it
itself
wrong.
from Mumble. So
Oh,
that's always fun when that happens. Good old push to talk in Mumble, right?
yeah. Now we're all squared away, and I actually got it wrong. It's not Slemnish. He's just in the same team as Froyo right now.
Yeah,
Slemnish is
on
on
Ascent, dude.
Ascent. Eric is on Froyo. So forgive me for being very misinformed. But that's okay, because that's the last mistake we're going to see this cast.
Maybe from me, probably not from you. But we are here. It is Ascent. I'll run it down. You did introduce Slabnish first. They also have Corsa, Marmalu, and Mela are their soldiers. Podonsky on the Demo Man, and Nursey is their medic. It's a good team. This is map 2. We went
Actually,
places
I
on
think
map
like
1.
we should like hold on. We're going way ahead of ourselves. We had an entire game that recently just finished. If you aren't aware, we could not do map 1. There were so many STV issues. We switched servers. The players kindly switched servers a total of 3 times, and none of the STVs worked. But thankfully, game 2 for this set is rocking and rolling. We're going to give you a very slow, quick, I'm not really sure how we're going to approach this recap with maybe a little bit of our analysts here kind of giving a talk down since they were watching
I
via Shade.
I
we
hate
also
to
have the
do
stats.
like the stream snipey thing, but I have gotten word that it is live
Then let's
into the
break
next
it
map.
down real quick.
So we probably don't have time to go to the analyst
No, I
desk.
don't care.
Hate to say it.
Jarrett, talk to the people, my man, because Blaze is still in spectate on my screen. Last game,
pretty much
Metalworks.
Pretty much map 1 was at least the first half was very Froyo dominant. They were able to take a lot of mid fights, and even though it took a little bit, like it wasn't round after round after round, they were able to like take the first 3 points. But it was at half when Ascent finally decided what they needed to do to change up like their mid strategies and like pushing points to be able to constantly take rounds over and over again. But they just weren't able to take enough during that map, so now they got to try again and see if they can do the same thing on Gully Wash, except take 5 rounds this time.
All right, thank you for that quick breakdown. The final score was 5-4. Froyo currently leading, and if they take down Goalie Wash, it'll be the end of Ascent and the end of ESEA season 28. 27? 28.
27.
27.
I told you it wouldn't be your last mistake.
Yeah, no. You'll just keep reminding me, buddy. And while we're at it, why don't you take the first mid with Podonsky at the choke?
Yeah, we are live here, getting right into it. First sticky's coming out there. Habib's doing a bit of early damage to Podonsky. He's in a lot of trouble. And now Ascent are in their duty trying to find some of these kills, trying to find some pressure, but it's going to be Marmalu falling first. Blaze does get traded out very quickly. But right back into it, Yomps has done the big kill. He gets the Devil Man. That's going to be mid going down. However, Mela wants to re-aggress here. They're coming back into this. They're starting to molt. Slumnish finds Eric. They're looking for some more. It is a 4v3 right now, but Banny is going to make it a 3v3. He's taking a lot of damage here. It is 2 scouts, Corsa and Slabnish running around. They find 1 kill. Now they're trying to get right in on Habib. He's trying to lock them out. He has Blaze, the spawner, with them, and I think they're going to back up and just take mid.
Yeah, Set looking really strong. Marmalu coming to the fray at that big door. Gonna bully off Habib and Blaze, and they're gonna be rotating over. The heals have also made their way to choke with Nursey leading with Corsa. They're peeking around the corner here, getting ready to jump right into things, but they've slowed down for now. But Yom's taking a huge amount of damage there. Podonsky really wants to follow up on that, getting some good damage on Eric. No one else to support him. Marmalu watching that flank from below, and Mela being very weary of any drop-down roamers. Meanwhile, we do see a little bit of action over here at the big door. Nice little air shot onto Eric. Juggles him up just by his little tippy toes, but Banny will return fire onto Slemnish. And oh no, he overextends! And the rocket connects! Marmalou grabbing 2 picks almost single-handedly with a little help of Slemnish from before. And now with these picks, we see now at the choke, the Uber exchange is happening, Dreamboat.
Yeah, they are trying to get in here. Habib is going to be dropped by Shade. That's a crucial pick for Ascent to pick up. And now they're coming back in. Blaze is going straight on top of Nursey. Nursey still alive, trying to juke. Yomps is there too. Nursey will in fact live. Shade, however, will not as Mela hits a nice rocket. Second is going to fall. Ascent, they look in good position now as they have that Uber advantage slowly building its way up. They should be able to take last.
Yeah, it's coming in from lower. A little bit of support from the river as well. Mela almost pushing through that main. They decide to back off, wait for the cap, wait for the respawn. Marmalou down is not what they want to push off of. They've got the 40 ad. They've got to wait for his respawn anyway. Might as well get there. But right now, Yomps has snuck his way from lower while there's an aggression happening on the battlements through the river. They've taken down 3, and Nursey drops from Yomps, who came down from that lower door. And now Course is trying to make something happen out of a bad situation. Gets Yomps with his last pistol before getting taken down himself. And now Ascent are feeling like, man, what just happened here? Froyo capitalizing on a great opportunity there. I can't wait to talk about that with the analysts.
An absolute pincer and upper led to all of Ascent taking so much damage, just bleeding. Brilliant play right there from Froyo. Ascent, they are potentially overstaying their welcome here in Big Door because Shade's got that Uber advantage. It's slowly coming up here, making his way through, trying to poke and prod. And they are going to start to space them out. Ascent have rotated upper. Looks like they're going to be grabbing a lot of ground in on second here. Mela want to try and get this med pick. I don't think he'll be able to. And yes, Ascent have to fall back as second will be capped up here.
Oh, but Marlo has found his way in behind. I'm not sure if it was a like hiding and drop down play or whatever, but he's all the way at choke and no one is even remotely aware of this. He's playing even more cautious just to make sure. And now he's more than ready, got the opening. Instead, he's going to lose that opportunity because they're backing in. But thankfully, Nursey does have the Uber time. So now Froyo's going to be going for a sack here with Blaze potentially. He's not fully buffed. They're peeking a little bit with Habib over by the shutter, and Marmalou has started working his way up. He's just very cautious. He finds the opportunity, and with Corsa grabbing Blaze, this is all but his to grab Eric right here in the flank. Does take 2 rockets to take him down, and now it has the cutoff route over in the shutter, but decides to back out through river, meet up with the rest of the team, and they're going to push out through the main lobby, hopefully shortly.
Yeah, they are starting to push forward, starting to walk out. Slemnish is going to be coming in from upper, trying to catch a couple of these players here. As Habib is watching his stickies. Ascent, they're being very well stuffed right now from the spam of Froyo, so they're actually just going to back right off, sit back on last, and reset.
Yeah, the last time I watched my stickies was maybe last night. It was a good time.
Froyo now starting to move forward. We'll see where they want to send some of these sacks in. They did throw Blaze in before, and it didn't quite work out. This time they have to deal with the Slemnish Pyro. Marmalou is just checking for off classes. I don't think he's committing to it yet. No, he's going to stay on Soldier. Froyo, I mean, they're just doing a little bit of posturing. And oh, there's a huge pick. Habib actually picking off Mela with a couple nice pipes. Might give Froyo the opportunity to move forward. They've already sent Eric down through lower. He may just go to try and start the back cap and kill this Pyro. If he can find this kill on Slemnish, that would be huge. But Podolski's fallen, so has Marmalou. He still hasn't popped yet, but his entire team is dying. Slemnish and the Pyro will get the super, try and burn them, but Shade is staying alive. He has not popped, and this is looking good for froyotech.
Yeah, this is kind of one of those situations where, like, when froyotech was in a roughly similar situation, they capitalized on it by pushing out. Ascent are probably not going to be doing the same thing here. They're not going to try and find any stragglers or catch any players that are a little too far forward. They're going to just put all their chips on defense right now. And Corsa's busting at that sniper in river. Might not catch anything. Eric is just barely poking his little head over the top. And he's already rotated back off that sniper onto the heavy so that he can play more of that defensive role. He tried to get that one pick. It did not open for them. And now the river push is coming in. Bandy now leading the charge. Walks into the sentry. Gonna get taken down by Habib, who's very aware of that angle. Takes it down. Mela goes down from the main front entrance. Some respawning is happening, trying to get in with the resupply, and it will not slow things down enough. They lost Podolski right at the start, and with no stickies to hold off players, it's hard for the rest of your team to make any opportunities.
Yeah, and I mean, one of the problems with the way they set up that last hold is it had the heavy, had the engineer, meaning that it was a lot more difficult for them to become a mobile kite. Instead, they dropped players, they dropped their defense, and with Badonsky going down, there was no way they could hold, but we are into this next mid-row.
Right away, I see froyotech are all on the ground, cut off at their own big door. Yomps has snuck in from below, does manage to launch Nursey, but Nursey doing a very good surf, but just decides to go for it, and Yomps had the angle lined up and was able to connect on Nursey just before she got to that pack. Meanwhile, froyotech have all fallen. Course is going to be cleaning house here very shortly. There's stickies at the door, and Habib will be able to get out with his life. Shade died in that exchange earlier on in the fight, but Nursey spawning first due to a weird, I don't know if Shade died late or if that spawn, by capping it, changed the spawn timer in a significant way or not. But that's almost a 20 ad.
Yeah, and I mean, with that little bit of ad, I don't think it's enough that Ascent can capitalize on. However, there are a lot of Froyo players by second, and if they do get caught, it would be a devastating blow to them. Looks like they're just going to back off, cut their losses, as Ascent still trying to capitalize. And ooh, Habib, this little pipe there, catching Corsa, and giving the call out as well.
Certainly feeling his oats there with that Iron Bomber connecting. Nursey now very low on health and dangerously teetering off the edge. Had to force there as Eric jumped down, and that was not what they want. I mean, that goes without saying. So now this Uber that has gone almost to the shutter, not much further, is not going to do any good for them. Vanny now trying to work his way in through the river. Takes a little bit of damage there. Corsa might, or Slemnish might chase this down. He knows Vanny's weak and is going to get the shot. He's also going to put some time on the point here and draw some players in. They're all coming forward, and Ascent almost finds an opportunity to peek, but Badonsky and Mela were not quite in the right position to maybe catch out turned around players. So now froyotech are taking control of this battlements and working their way up.
Yeah, there is Marmalou playing close. He should fall, and he will in fact fall to Eric. However, Badonsky does catch Eric with the stickies. Now he's trying to get right in there. He's trying to kill. He's looking for more. They are going to catch Badonsky as well, and that's going to allow Froyo to get this point. However, Nursey lives, and that's the important thing for Ascent.
Yes, Nursey having Uber now is good, but they are not going to be able to hold this mid. Not at all. They've got their no demo. They're still on the respawn. They're wanting to commit to this fight and wait for their respawns to come in. This might be a great decision for them, but Badonsky is just so late on that timer, and Slemnish is all the way behind now. Trying to win a 1v1 at the choke, does not get it. Eric will take care of that, and now Blaze dancing around, gets taken down by Corsa here. We do see Marmalou manage to find his way to Shade and takes him down with 2 clean rockets, and Mela following suit gets some good damage onto Badonsky, or excuse me, Habib, as well as Yomps. It is cleanup time for the rest of the scouts, but Corsa gets taken down by a nice sticky from Habib, who is very low on health, down to 10 HP, escaping out. That was a good Uber exchange from Ascent with a lot of casualties on both sides, but the ringing celebration here is Shade died, and they have 40 ad.
Yeah, that ad is going to be plenty for Ascent to work with, meaning Froyo are going to try and deny this as Yomps has walked right out, as has Shade. And Shade actually kills Badonsky. They've dropped 2 players here. They will trade those back pretty quickly. But Shade is all alone here in Big Door. These scouts are beefing, but they will find that kill. And now they need to link up with Nursey, keep their med alive as Blaze is hunting. He's going to do a jump trying to get out, and he will fall. Habib trying to stick you off the lobby. Does a lot of damage there. Doesn't find either of those kills. A little bit unfortunate. And now, of course, is trying to find the rest of the kills. And instead, he's going to feed his life away. Doesn't really matter, though, as Nursey has full Uber ad.
Yeah. They could have gone for the push right now and secured themselves the round if, of course, it just did not chase so hard. Really wanted to find the opportunity while the spawn timers were counting down. Thankfully, though, this Uber ad and this number advantage is just big enough that they don't have to worry about Shade getting to Uber anytime soon. Shade just now clocking in at 40%. They're going to be popping the Uber off right away through the choke point of this river entrance, and Eric has stuffed it completely with the air blast. And Vanny, he has the engineer. The sentry finally goes down. It managed to pick off Eric, but they lost Slemnish. It's kind of going back and forth here. Unclear whether or not Ascent are going to have a lock on any of these last pushes.
Ascent are sitting far back. They're going to try and force Shade because there is that Uber advantage. See if they can't get the pick. Maybe leave Marmalou for a back cap. But Froyo should be able to push off of this just off the Uber advantage alone. At least they're trying to do it. trying to move out here in upper. They're putting some pressure, but really they haven't found anything. Nursey's very close to this Uber now that it's popped off. If Nursey can just kite, we'll be able to get it and come back in. They dropped Corsa, but they do trade out for Blaze, so it's not the end of the world. And now Nursey with that Uber is going to be happy to stay in second with his team.
Oh, and there it is. Slemnish playing comfortable at choke. Yomps just now trying to dispatch with him. Marmalu's going to be meeting up with him. And Yomps is just so desperate to stay alive here. He's doing a very good little dance, juggling some players, but that will be the end of his life. We're seeing full Uber ad, but with the spawns waiting for it, it's going to be really tough to push this essentially 4v4-ish with a Slemnish on Sniper. And this Banny Pyro has done a good work. Corsa grabbing 2 frags there is very nicely done. And a back half attempt is happening, but with 3 down, as soon as they take down Eric, it's going to be really hard to defend, especially with Shade has only 8 seconds to go. They need to push now if they want to stop froyotech from getting this Uber.
Spawns are coming up quickly, and Corsa's going to go down to a sticky trap as well. This is not looking very good for Ascent. They're going to throw Marmalu onto the point with that paint train. He's got the +2, does a lot of work there. Not able to find it as the spawns have come up for froyotech. They should get one more here in just a second. So there's no way they should live, but Shade is going to be forced. Mela with a huge hero play, just selling out to get that Uber. Now it's all keep Nursey alive. Second might fall, but the Uber advantage is enough to keep Ascent in this.
Yeah, that was insane aggression, and right now we're already seeing very strong work from Badonsky, taking down a
Nursey's
lot
in
of
trouble.
players.
Blaze is behind, but
No,
Blaze is going to be
of course,
denied.
And Marmalu doing a very good job of holding down the fort. Habib might be able to grab Badonsky here, surprising there, but with 2 players down now, it's looking really hard for froyotech to hold on to this. Uber gets popped off, and Mela will grab that frag, putting the sentry gun. 2 scouts on the point. You do see Banny rushes underneath. Eric also trying to do a little bit of a dance. Nice. It's not going to work out, though. Marmalu doing good damage. It gets arrowed up. It's Blaze left to defend. Habib has respawned and will be pushing off any more aggression from Ascent. And we might even see a little bit counter aggression here, pushing out. Slemnish is the only respawn right now.
Yeah, I mean, that just did not work out for Ascent. They weren't finding the kills that they needed, and they just kept bleeding players. They dropped on the point, but they didn't get enough cap time. And because of that, Freyo spawns are able to come in and mulch them. They will find Blaze trying to stay alive here in second. However, with Shade having that Uber, they need to be careful. Has been popped off. Melee's going in deep behind, and actually the Rap's coming through big door right now. Second will fall, but the fact that they force Shade and Nursey is alive is huge right now for Ascent as they start to walk back in.
Oh, Yomps doing so much. Badonsky will not even let him fall through that drop down. He grabs that frag, and Mela is going to be the one initiating onto Shade, grabs the frag as well. He's going to be doing so much for his team. Ascent now swarming the point. It's just Blaze and Habib up. Habib throwing some stickies over that Bats little shutter door that says battlements. And now Marmon's squad are getting into position through this balcony. We do see Blaze cannot escape Corsa, who's going to make his way to the point. There's nothing that can do. There's just one player in the forward sneaky. Yomps is actually going to get taken down, or take down some players with the help of Banny and Eric. It's Badonsky trying to sticky it off so someone can get to the point, but there's so much damage on the point. Shade is not going to be able to defend this. It's Eric who respawned, and Blaze also getting arrowed up. It's incredible, this defense from froyotech. I have no idea how they just survived all of that.
Part of the problem was the fact that Ascent were too slow in that transition, and Nursey's in a lot of trouble. Yomps is there. Nursey's trying to surf out, juking around, will finally fall. But the problem was how slow they were in transition. They put a lot of people on second to try and cap it up, whereas what they needed to do was leave one push forward. You could do a little bit of spawn camping, get a lot of time on to that last point, and instead they waited way too long. It allowed Freyo spawns to come back, and I mean, they all grouped on the point, so they took a lot of the same damage. Ascent need to try moving a little bit faster, finding the kills they need.
And Badonsky had a great trap that would have caught out Yomps, but he doesn't even know his presence right now. And Yomps is going to grab Corsa on 20 HP. He's got 2 swigs to go and takes down Slemnish. Oh no, that's a yikes. Badonsky had a trap designed for what how Yomps navigated towards that big door. He came in through drop down, walked over and jumped right over 8 stickies. I counted them. And Badonsky was not ready. He was not watching.
Uber's coming straight into last year on Banny, and he has a soldier with him, but the Pyro's actually doing quite a bit of work in this thing. They haven't capped second yet. Spawns are here, and they're not finding the kill they need with this Uber. Corsa on the heavy's gotten 2 of them. However, Banny is under the point. I don't know if they know this. He's actually going to back out. It's too bad.
No, he's coming right into the face of Badonsky. He's juking, but he doesn't have his Corsa shoes on tonight. Badonsky's going to bottle him down. And so now froyotech are backing things up. And, you know, earlier, Banny made the comment, struggling with these last pushes, huh? He's eating his own words right now.
Well, the Uber's popped here onto Nursey. They're trying to find kills. They've grabbed Yomps. Eric's stuck in. Habib kills himself. And now Shade, the important one, has fallen. It is just Banny alive, just on the spawn. He's gone down drop right now. He's going to try and get in on Nursey. See if they realize that he is behind. He's taking this 1v1 with Slemnish right now. Is he actually going to win this fight on the point? No, Slem, despite being 12 HP, will win it out. That is going to allow mid to finally be capped.
That was very, very good. Not losing Slemnish there could have an impact on this push. I mean, they still have about another, 15 seconds to go before they build up that Uber. Someone would have respawned by then, but, it just makes it that, quality of life. You don't have to wait for your respawners. You just go right in when you feel comfortable. When you're ready, Dreamboat, that's when you push,
Not necessarily. You can also push when you're not quite ready, but they have nothing alive. And speaking of alive, they are alive with this Uber popping in here. They take out the Pyro of Eric. They're trying to find some more kills, but they just drop Marmaloo and Corsa. Yomps finding a 2K is going to stuff it. Still trying to fight out, trying to brawl it out, but there is a level 3 third player sentry gun standing up, and that is not going to fall, so they are going to back out. Slemnish is trapped in a river, and he will give his life away to Habib.
And I just got to mention, that is not a third player, that is a 7th player.
That's what I meant.
But that's the last mistake you'll make tonight, Dreamboat. We already heard it from you first. So now we're looking forward to this froyotech peeking their way in through lower.
I meant third player because there were still 2 alive there. Is there the third one there?
Either way, we got froyotech flooding through the gates. River is flowing, and Shay drops to Badonsky. What? That was a snipe. A snipe all the way, and then the back half on a bottle combo. Slemnish made it all the way behind and got the last point. We're so caught up in our mistakes and micromanaging our talkative points that we're missing a comeback story from Ascent.
I mean, it was a 1-round comeback. That's not really a comeback story yet. They do have a long way to go if we're going to turn this into one of those. However, we are into this next mid. Bombs coming forth, trying to put pressure through. And Eric's in a lot of trouble, but it looks like he's going to survive. No, the splash from Marmaloo finds that kill. He'll lose his life for it, though. And in fact, more of Ascent players are in trouble as Yomps has gone right in, finds 3. Habib getting one with the splash as well. It's just melee, and he should die.
Yeah,
and he does.
That's a certainty. Banny has his pistol out, and you have an escape plan out, you're dead. You're already dead, kiddo. So now we see Marm making his way up. He did spot noise, some hint of sticky traps in River. I don't suspect that they will push much further than just around the corner. We do see Corsa getting on top of that little shutter awning, takes his first shot onto Banny, quickly eats up that pack and runs away, very afraid that it could potentially be his last breath. But Corsa knows better than to stay on Sniper for far too long. Wrong place, wrong time. He's going to be back on that heavy, taking that 450 buff and hoping to grab at least 2 kills in this push, just like he did last time. Oh, sneaky. I like it. Gun goes down from lower. Slemnish is not going to be able to hold on to that for much longer. And Corsa has snuck in behind. Nobody was aware of him. And so they're going to turn around now and try and take care of him. Habib unloading an entire clip just to take him down. And now we do see Nursey is going to get taken down by Yomps, who's currently trying to dispatch with Slemnish. Eric will grab the frag, and it's Badonsky doing his best, hiding under the water impression. It will not last for long, and Habib will secure the point.
That was a terrible idea from Corsa. That was an absolute mistake and a throw. He was so far away that he couldn't do anything to deal with it, and he was only 300 HP, wasn't fully buffed, so he died instantly. Questionable play from Corsa, and that will be Froyo's round. This mid is so crucial for Ascent, and a double bomb from Blaze and Yomps coming together. They have Nursey pincered. However, 3 players have gone down from Ascent. They are still condensed in here. Blaze trying to find this Nursey kill. Won't be able to do it as Corsa grabs 2. However, mid is once again gone Froyo's way.
So the captain on froyotech are making their way over to the second point. They might have to contest, though. Worry about the contesters from Ascent. They have almost got that Uber. It's not quite there for either player, so they're just kind of committing to a DM fest. And they lose Habib, which is a major DPS factor in this push. And now all the players from Ascent are coming in on top of the Froyo squad. Bandy gets popped off with Shade. Corsa very close on the tail. Try and do some little body blocking, looking at the shades of Bandy's little glasses there. He will not survive in the banana, and now Ascent are taking complete control of this middle point, and will hold on to things.
Yeah, mid is being capped up, even Uber, so it's not end of the world for either team. But it looks like they're going to try and wrap through Big Door. They've got a scout in that lobby. That's Corsa. This could work out perfectly for Ascent. They've already grabbed the Yomps, but they need to find some more kills here. They'll drop their soldiers, but at least they pick off the demo man. Now they're trying to brawl it out. Blaze in a lot of trouble, and Shade will go down too. It's just Banny here, trying to brawl out. Finds the demo man, but cannot win the fight against Slemnish, mainly because of that fat 185 courtesy of Nursey. And once again, Uber advantage for Ascent, trying to push last. We'll see if they can do it successfully. They've struggled with it so far.
Yeah, right now we do see froyotech at huge disad. They're only setting up with an engineer and a pyro. Pyro has been doing a lot of work for them earlier in these blast pushes. Hopefully Ascent will find a way to time the ebb and flow of the air blast. You know, you can get a rocket in once the air blast is hit. Once you feel that knockback, just click your mouse button and you'll definitely hit that pyro. Instead, they're going to be coming in through the shutter, which will net themselves a free sentry gun kill. But they've wasted quite a lot of time, and Corsa might even go down here. He does actually manage to sneak his way through the river. It was Nursey who couldn't escape through that shutter, and now Blaze has walked into the lobby. He's going to get taken down by Mela, but Yomps has also found the hiding Corsa, and Slemnish will win the 1v1 against Banny, but will get burnt alive by Eric in the water. And now froyotech are looking to take this second point with very little obstacles.
Well, here comes the wrap from Ascent. Both of these soldiers trying to go through. They're dueling Yomps, and they will win that fight. Marmalade with a nice rocket. Mela has fallen. However, the brawl at this second point is still going down. The player running to the last will go down to Banny, so Marmalade doesn't get that free cap. Slemnish is also trying to take that fight too, as Shades popped his Uber off. Second will go down. The kills are going Froyo's way, and they are going to grab mid off of this as well.
Yeah, we do see Ascent holding very far back. They want to make sure that they have Uber for this next push. froyotech might opt to play that kind of force them on mid, because when it comes to goalie wash mid, you know, you can just sit really far back, and there's so much pressure on the medic to pop that you can basically give it away for free and then kite it throughout. Right now we do see Blaze hiding in that banana, has options in river, or excuse me, not river, the big door. As soon as they call it out, they do see the beam. They're going to call it out now, and Blaze is going to walk through the choke, get some good damage onto some players, but he gets taken down. Meanwhile, Ascent are finally popping things off as they get through the elbow. Shade is going to fall to the hands of Corsa, and they're going to be rotating back to the point. There is nobody from froyotech trying to make a play from behind. They are all escaping out their big door and working their way over to the choke, trying to catch any players that are making their way towards the battlements. There's a sticky trap up there, but I'm sure Mela or Marmalou will try their best to avoid it.
Pressure coming straight forward, straight in here. They're trying to get onto Nursey. Unable to do so. Nursey just backed off, throwing these arrows in. However, the mulch is to come in. Slemnish in behind, trying to get on Shade. He's going to fall. As well, Mela. This is going all Furio's way. Will there be some hero play? Or is Badonsky and Nursey both going to fall here? Badonsky goes down. Nursey gets a saw. Pops Uber. Is going to escape out, drop down, trying to get out. A big door. Gets another saw onto Shade. Are you kidding? And a
There
third!
it is.
Nursey, with all the saws, is going to link up with her team. And Nursey somehow stays alive.
That's what we look for in a medic. You know, you gotta find those opportunities, and Nursey is a master when it comes to those kind of plays. I love watching clips of medics escaping with some great Uber chaining shenanigans. So now Banny looking kind of like a fool. They still have Uber ad. You know, they got 100% to Nursey's 50. They're going to be rotating over to this big door now and start working their way in. But Bedance's got eyes on the lobby. Misses his debt, and Eric will survive. And now the rest of froyotech have popped up onto the battlements, not finding any openings, and now Ascent are more than likely going to come in and try and stop this point, but not quite at 100%. It looks like the cap will go to froyotech.
Well, Center trying to brawl it out here, and they've done a good job forcing them back. However, Habib is sticking around, throwing a lot of stickies in, doing some damage. But instead, Froyo are still going to have to fall back. Give up second, and the pressure is into mid. They find Habib. Of course, they're getting a nice kill there. But the pinch is coming through. Froyo trying to go behind them, and it's worked out perfectly. All three members of Froyo are behind. And they do their best to try and get the second point capped up. Nursey has to pop the super. They find Banny. And they should be able to get Yomps here. But Eric's already gone all the way back to River right now. He's on an adventure. Marmaloo's there to meet him. But Eric could cause some pain in the back.
Gonna slide into water here. Gonna be pincered here, taken down. It took 3, and so now froyotech are like, hey, there's a lot of players behind. We could probably wrap through choke. Blaze sitting at the choke decides better of it. They're not gonna be going any further. Ascent are calling the shots now, making their way in. Blaze is gonna try and do some aggression over here at the big door, getting flashed by his medic. They're also kind of distracted. Gonna grab Badonsky as well. Nursey did manage to escape. She will be meeting up all the way at last at 35%. Marmaloo just now getting up to it. Corsa is making his escape as well. Will be able to get out. Froyo are a little weary that maybe Marmaloo is hiding somewhere, but thankfully they've vetted every spot. They're going to get this cap, but they are sitting at not as big of a disad because they were building while Nursey was waiting.
Well, Mela is trying to go behind. He's going to be caught freely by Eric, and that's... Oh, and Marmaloo going down too. Ascent need to back up, hold that S key. Badonsky's going to get Eric, and that's about it. Because this is not a good spot for Nursey to be in. Bomb's coming forward. They're trying to get the force off. Shade's not quite up on his Uber yet. Jumps will fall. Blaze should go down too. So they've at least bought some time as those kills come in, and Bandy's going to get caught as well. That's a 4-man sack for the medic.
So now we do see Habib throwing wildly as he backs away. Ooh, poor Eric. Actually does manage to get flashed with the Uber. The Uber was available to froyotech, and now they are just kind of looking at each other. Popped it off, and now they've backed off. We don't know if Ascent are in any good position here to try and poke or prod. It might just be a weird kind of reset where both teams don't have anything to work with. froyotech doing a full rotation, though, Dreamboat through this big door.
They are coming in behind. They're trying to pincer Ascent. They will drop Blaze at the beginning, but they get Nursey. That's the huge pick. Shade will also fall. Melo with the hero rockets. And in fact, all of Froyo has fallen. Banny actually managed to get Marmaloo. I didn't think he was even going to get that. However, moving in to mid, it is Ascent. And Slemnish is already poking out second as well. Could he catch the spawn?
Oh, he does. What a great decision by Froyo. Oh no, because it's the end of the round. I thought there was like some kind of super mind game where only one person walks out just to see if, like, you know, maybe someone's hiding. But no, it was the end of the round. That's the end of the half. The timer has ended. Man, that would have been really interesting though. You know, just send one guy out, wait for the guy to pop his trap, and then you'd know Slemnish was hiding.
Yeah, you know, if there wasn't halftime, that would have been solid. However,
That would have been so much IQ. That's
it
what
would
it
have
was.
been. And you know, we may not know if that's actually the case. It probably wasn't the case, but we are at half, and here's the thing. Froyo's up 2-1 on this half. They win this map. That is the end of the series. They are invite champions. Ascent win this map, goes to a third map. Ascent win that third map, we go to a whole nother best of 3. How
Can't wait to go to work with 0 hours of sleep. Dreamboat.
well, I don't know if it's changed since this went live, but if Ascent were to win the first best of 3, I was told that the second best of 3 would happen on a separate day.
That's a wonderful thing because I don't know why that was just a continuation of, hey, it's 3 in the morning. Let's finish this second best of 3. I don't know who made that decision, but I hope you're right. That sounds wonderful.
But, I mean, there is a long way before we even get to that next best of 3. Ascent need to clean it up, tighten up, and hopefully fix some of these last pushes because they've had a lot of opportunities. Their transition play has been solid. They've done a good job pushing out. They've done a good job getting mid, getting second. But they've been beefing so many of these last pushes that, it'd be great to see them tighten it up because that would give them the chance to force that third map. As it stands, though, it is 2-1 Froyo at halftime, who are up 1-0 on maps in this best of 3.
Yeah, and looking at these stats here, it's quite a show from Corsa and Banny. Banny, of course, leading in damage with almost 350 DPM to his name. Meanwhile,
So,
Corsa leading in frags by almost double of the average kills of every other player.
So, bro, we do also happen to have bot mode, Jarrett, and Pete sitting in the channel above us. Would we potentially want to go to them and just have them talk a little bit, talk briefly before we go to the second half?
That might not be an option because we could go live at a moment's notice,
Well, I checked.
and that doesn't give a lot
I
of.
checked what is in the future, and we're not going live yet. So we do have
Oh, because
time,
you're
which is why I
using the
suggested.
cheese strats. Okay.
Which is why I suggested it.
Okay.
I
well
did check
then,
these things before I
yeah.
suggest things. I'm a professional
Well,
here, not an amateur.
That's how it works. Well, Dreamboat, if you could give them a notice that we're about to link them so that we don't hot mic them, we'll do that. See how that unfolds, and maybe they can dissect more of what we saw. Maybe give us a brief talk about like things that like how froyotech were pushing off disadvantage and managed to save their second.
I gave them a heads up. Hopefully that's enough of a heads up. We will head to them.
Hello,
so with our analyst desk,
analysts.
it's bot mode, Jarrett, and Pete. How you doing, bot mode?
Good.
What do you got to say about that map? Or that half?
It's pretty close, surprisingly, I think. On a lot of the mids, it felt like Ascent wasn't really like holding position as well as they should, and they weren't putting a lot of pressure where they needed to. Ascent on this map doesn't like to go for deep soldier bombs, as opposed to Froyo, who really like the patented double soldier bomb off the rock, go really deep, and then just instantly walk at the other team. So they kind of like to play slower, more positionally based. But interestingly, Marmalou didn't have that positioning that is more important. Like on 2 of the mids, he was actually underneath his side, and as a roamer, you really want to be underneath the other side to create a lot of pressure. And a couple, I think 2 of the mids, he actually died, and then Ascent went and lost the mid. Froyo lost a mid. They tried to bait Ascent like going into them. They did this the last time they played Gully Wash, actually. They faked going up the right side, Froyo's right side, and Ascent bombed into them, and they cleaned up the soldier kills and won that mid. This time, however, Ascent apparently learned better of it and just jumped onto the high ground and shot down at Froyo, and Froyo like took so much damage they ended up losing. Fortunately, Yomps ended up getting ESEA that mid, I think. On a couple of the last pushes, Ascent was like really struggling. There was a lot of last pushes where Ascent could not get kills, and they were splitting way too much attention between the point and getting kills either top left or top right. And they really struggled to force Shade and Habib into the spawn, which is really important if you're trying to play the point. And actually, on one of the last pushes, they tried to play the point, and Badonsky was actually a respawner coming in late, so they didn't have stickies to put on the point and then like really take it. Other than that, Jerry, what did you think?
I think Ascent's flank needs to play slightly more aggressive, not because it's the best idea, but Froyo isn't that amazing at dealing with it, so we can hopefully see if that's gonna, be prevalent in this half as we're going to mid now.
All right, thank
you
you bot mode and Jarrett. We are live into the second half of this game. Onto this mid, Froyotech have swapped to the blue side, a center on red. And they're sitting quite deep, quite back onto this mid fight right now. Just throwing in some deep spam. No one's really committed, and Marmalou's going to be the first man to fall, or first dog, depending how you view it. In fact, now with Mela going down, Ascent are just going to turn their tails and run as mid has gone froyotech's way.
Yeah, now they're clearing things out, trying to keep an eye on things. They're going to quickly get Blaze over to the battlements before Nursey can poke her little head around the corner, and Corsa will be backing off as well. froyotech doing a very good job of keeping just enough presence that there's no contest from Ascent, and now we're going to be seeing them pushing in, potentially sending a sack. I don't know if they're going to actually go for an actual push here, given it's even Ubers and they're already up 2-1. Fresh half, talk things over, ham things out, you know.
Well, I mean, this is invite TF2. There are no handouts. They will not be given an inch. They will have to take it. And Slemnich going for a nice peek there. Is in a bit of trouble. He's still alive. Yomps will go straight in, find that kill. So that is a nice pick to find. I don't know if Froyo are going to be able to push off that.
Well, they got Eric on the point and Blaze on the med. Gonna get that force as well. Marm got taken down as he tried to dispatch with dear Mr. Eric. And now with froyotech having full Uber and Banny in full view of the enemy team, they're gonna be pushing forward. He steps onto the point and stickies are up. It's just a retreat to spawn and cap last. Just like, I think bot mode was the one who said it, about locking off Habib and Shade, putting them into their spawn, and then focusing on the point. That's exactly what froyotech did right there. Only they locked out Nursey and Badonsky.
Well, we are now 2 rounds away from Froyo winning, potentially. Or Ascent need to come back strong. However, they've done well this far, picking off Blaze, getting some space, trying to take some pressure into this mid-fight. And now the bombs are starting to come forward, starting to put that pressure into that demo man Habib. They are still just churning out a ton of damage. But Froyo's health is not good enough to stay in. They're going to back out. Eric might fall here to Slemnish. In fact, he will, but Slem should be caught. Will die to those stickies.
And now we're seeing Banny chasing down Marmaloo, who's so low on health, is going to be able to survive while the rest of Ascent are pushing in through the choke, grabbing Yomps. Nice little frag. One less soldier means a lot less of the damage. The high ground, it all crumbles when you don't have as many soldiers to defend. And so now Ascent have taken control of the battlements. They've got Slemnish on the sniper. He will be sliding his way into the lobby, maybe peeking from main.
Well, Ascent now. Let's see if they can capitalize on bot mode's wisdom. Let's see if they change it up. However, Slemnish trying to peek forth, trying to find a kill. Will he find anything? He does a lot of damage to Eric on Pyro. Will hit the second headshot there too, because of course one's not good enough. Finds that kill, so that's a nice opening pick. There's a gun trying to be put up right now. That Slem is just peeking, trying to put damage in.
Yeah. A lot of angles available to Slemnish. He's sticking with that river one. Can't find it because they know how to avoid it. So now he's opted to find his way over to the left side of the respawn. He's going to get hit with a nice little flare. It's a bit unfortunate they didn't decide to push off of that Pyro pick because that's a big one. I'm not clear on the class limits. I'm pretty sure Pyro is limit 1. It might be limit 2. It's very hard for them to switch off another person to delay that Pyro, but there it is. Yomps overextends, trying to get pressure onto Slemnish, who was getting knocked over with scorch shots, and now the Uber is forced off through the shutter, but it's not even pressuring Shade. He's currently... Oh, but the cap happens underneath! They were so distracted with how quote-unquote bad that push was that, you know, someone just walked onto the point and finished it off. That might have been the +2 from the pain train.
I wasn't actually paying attention on whether or not there was +2 with Pain Train. However, that is honestly one of my favorite things to do is run Pain Train on your roamer. It's on near meaningless downgrade for the cap ability, but at this mid, these soldiers are flying deep, going fast. Blaze gets taken out immediately. Melee's trying to counter jump onto Yomps. Won't quite find that kill. Marmaloo's there, will fall. However, it looks like Froyo are actually going to be winning this mid. They've done a lot of damage. They found 3 straight kills. Badonsky's in a lot of trouble. And in fact, it will be a Froyo mid. They're trying to catch off Nursey, trying to catch off Slemnish. And he's there, but it looks like they will escape.
Whew. Froyo are not relenting right now. Yomps was chasing very hard, and Banny just happens to get caught out. Nursey with the nice little arrow there. Take care of him. So now Ascent are feeling comfortable enough to poke their way in. find out what's happening on the battlefield. Corsa and Slemnish are leading the charge here, getting right into the face of Badonsky, but with 2 soldiers and an Uber, no less, it's going to be very hard to keep that in check. Nursey, actually they popped their Uber a little bit earlier, and Nursey dies on the escape. So now it's up to Ascent to try and slow down this aggression. Maybe get enough damage or pick here or there. Blaze is walking forward, trying to take care of Mela. He will not be able to get the frag, and Mela will be backing out with the rest of the squad. Banny just narrowly misses another rocket. And Eric is also going to be doing a nice little practical 1v1 against Mela before getting taken down by Marmalou. It's Corsa coming up on the heavy, doing some good damage to the players, but he can't stay alive forever. And froyotech are 1 round away from winning it all.
1 round is all that is left in Ascent's lifeline for ESEA invite. Will they be able to pull this off, or will Froyo win another invite championship? It is this mid to decide it. Take it away, Ro.
So Habib has found an enemy at the gates. Marmalou, right in the face. It's a double bomb from Froyo. Yamps will not be able to live for very long, and Blaze is timing himself. It's Marmalou from the drop down. Gets some good damage onto Habib. He will not last. And now it's up to Slemnish making his rounds. And Corsa will also do some work here. Ascent are not out of the picture. That's a full wipe with only Mela as a casualty. This is the turnaround moment. Dreamboat.
This is your TSN turning point as Ascent. This time they're wasting no time getting into last. They're putting a lot of pressure in early. They will find Yomps with a nice air pipe from Badonsky. However, they're going to back off, content to take that 1 pick.
Right now, the center kind of weighing their options. Finishing the cap off is Slemnish. He'll be meeting up with them in lobby. They're rotating over to the river, but Sticky Trap is going to be very worrisome here. And Eric still on that pyro, taking all the heals. Can you not just... There's a way to beat this. I know it's scary, but just time it. Wait for the air blast, shoot a rocket. Wait for the air blast, shoot a rocket. He's spamming it. It's easy to work around. But instead, Ascent just turned tail before the Uber even finishes. It was like 30% they turned around. Oh, I like what's happening here. Banny trying to be cheeky with the forward sentry. I think froyotech are going to be parking the bus here with that kind of a play. Oh, but Corsa on the spy. Corsa famous for one of the greatest spy plays in all of 6v6. He is slowly working
He's
his
also
way over.
famous for one of the worst of all time at Rewind 1 on Badlands versus 7. I still am bitter about that, yes.
Yeah, let's focus on the negative instead of the positive. I'm with it, sure.
I just color me skeptical of the Corsa spy play here. We'll see if he can make it work. He might be the hero that we all need.
Yeah. We'll credit that great play to just good TF2 mechanics. It was essentially just good air strafing. You know, making the best of a surf into a stab. So we'll call him a good air strafer, surfer, and a mediocre spy.
He's
But
no
he's
sneaky
right
Pete.
now. Right now, he's got the opportunity of a lifetime. He's pressuring Mr. Shade there, throws off some pistol shots. They won't connect. And that cap time was what really set off the play there from Marm. But Shade was turning around at just the right moment and was not worried about it at all. Just strafing left and right, A and D. And he will survive the onslaught of Corsa.
And of course, there was the casual Eric air blast reflect shot onto Marmalou, because shooting rockets at a pyro is not how you kill a pyro.
No. Timing your rockets is how you kill a pyro.
That's how you kill a bad pyro.
Okay. Well, Slemnish has decided to go with the Darwin's Danger Shield. I don't know what that... I forgot what that buff does, what it does, but I'm pretty sure it means you take increased damage, and he's going to die to a rocket from Blaze. Yamp's going to follow suit, walking in through the shutter, and it's in a desperate attempt from Eric to get some damage with the fire, the afterburn. He will kill Badonsky, and there's frags exchanging left and right. I can't even keep up with it. Mela is going to be able to pick off. It's just Habib and Shade. I'm pretty sure they can win this, but especially with the respawns. It looks like Marmalou's going to have to back off here. And now they're overcommitted, but Shade pops his Uber off kind of out of... Oh no, he got pressured. He took too much damage. and that force is going to help out Ascent. They don't have enough Uber. They weren't building during that exchange, apparently. And now froyotech are taking battlements.
Well, they are trying to pressure out here. Marmalu's done a good job. They've found 2 kills, both Eric and Banny. No scouts for Froyo right now. This could be around for Ascent. They're going to try and pressure forward, trying to get in. And they might catch a beep here. He's in a lot of trouble. Slemnish will find that kill. Blaze will trade it out, but losing your demo is never what you want on the last hold. And now they picked off Yomps early. They cap the point up, and Ascent win a pivotal round for them. A key round.
Yes, it is 4-3 with only 19 minutes on the clock. Times have been moving pretty fast right now. froyotech need to hold on to this mid. They need to figure out what they've been doing wrong, and Habib's going to be rolling out through that choke, getting some early damage onto Slemnish here. Marmalu is sitting underneath the point, is ready to pressure Habib at a moment's notice, and Habib is taking a lot of damage. Focus of Shade's heals. Eric is going to grab the first frag onto Marmalu, and with no soldiers, Ascent have to back out now. It's too little too late. Slemnish going out. Podonsky, a very late frag. Nursey is going to have to hold on to this Uber for last, and froyotech are in a very comfy position right now. They might want to close this out because it's late, but they can also play it slow, bide their time, get the opportunity of a lifetime, and force Ascent into the position of pushing out. And here it is. Banny's already talking.
Ooh, the call out on Nursey saying he's about to lose it for her team. We'll see how this works out. froyotech are getting ready to push in what could be the last push of this invite season. Slemnish is in a bit of trouble right now. Marmalu's trying to support him. Froyo looks like they might be ready to go. Never mind, they're backing off a little bit.
Yeah, right now, froyotech aren't really opting for anything right now. Banny's sitting around the corner. He's checking sticks. He's called things out. He knows it's clear. And there it is. Marmalu's trying to get some pressure on this battlement, this balcony. Will not be able to grab any frags here, but Banny's going to be opting to go through. And with Podonsky down, that's going to be it. There's no way they can defend against this. And there's pressure on the point here coming from Eric. He will get the cap almost to the end. That's going to force players to the point. The Uber comes out. Shade hasn't even popped yet. And now they have Podonsky as well as a soldier sitting in the back. Yomps coming forward. He's going to take a little bit of this Uber now. Juggle a player, and the cap goes off as Banny just walks onto the point, and that will be it. Your ESEA champions are for the 5th season in a row. Is that accurate? It's been a long time. froyotech once again your champions for ESEA season 27.
Yeah, I mean, congratulations to them. They played well, and I mean, they really just had a dominant season. What more can you say on that front? It's really, they just, they were beating teams left, right, and center. Games got close in the end. Ascent managed to, with that roster swap to Mela, managed to make a couple close games, but still they didn't even drop around or drop a map in this final. So they, clearly deserve to win it. And I'm curious to see, let me just give our analyst desk a heads up that that's where we're heading. But I'm curious to see what Bot Mode, Jarrett, and Pete have to say.
But okay, he's coming.
Hey, Jarrett. So guys, let's start with Pete. We just saw a very good comeback attempt from Ascent. They were really strong, but let's talk specifically about that last round. And I think we could start with Marmalu and Mela died right at the start near the mid. Where did you see the round go wrong from there? What did froyotech do right, or what did Ascent do wrong that led to their downfall?
I mean, the whole time we were watching that last map, Bot Mode was kind of pointing out that Marmalu, kind of decided whether or not they were going to win the mids. How well he positioned himself made a big impact, and with both him and Mela dying right off the start, they definitely just didn't have any momentum, and I think that just kind of rolled in Froyo's favor.
I think the most important thing about the last hold was something that happens, I feel like, a lot with Ascent is sometimes during holds, Podonsky and Nursey don't sit right next to each other, and Froyo will see that and just try to kill the demo if they feel like they can't force the medic, and they did that successfully. So now there's no traps anywhere. So when the exchanges get popped off, there's not a whole lot of area denial to prevent people from going for objectives or like getting through other doors for the post Uber, and that's a really important part of trying to hold your last, especially when you can enter the fight so quickly because it's a really small last.
Yeah, Badonsky dying there was just the heartbreak of that moment. And then when Shea could just walk through, Nursey got forced. It was all crumbling one by one. Very unfortunate.
It's actually the second time it happened in that game too. Earlier, what they did it the same way. They killed Badonsky, and then they had one of their scouts pressure the point. And then while that was all going on, they walked in and Ascent positioned in a way that was actually quite unfortunate. Mela, I think it was Mela, one of their soldiers, I think it was Mela the second in the last round, he dropped to the ground to block to the point, and their pyro also dropped to the ground. And what needed to happen was Mela needed to jump on the ring and like instantly like kill that scout if they needed to win, if they wanted to win that fight. But instead he like dropped in, and all of a sudden Fanny and Habib are coming in with this Uber, like shooting at them on the low ground. So they pop, and they have this really, really bad pop. They can't even get back onto Shade to like force the Uber. And Shade just eventually pops without actually even needing to, and that like basically that was the end of the round at that point.
Yeah, you hate to see it.
Otherwise, I think the game was mostly pretty back and forth. Obviously, both teams made a couple mistakes because it wasn't necessarily like, oh, they won mid. All right, I guess they win the round, because there was a lot of fights over two and stuff. But overall, Froyo just gonna be able to be slightly better at being able to turn the rounds. I know Ascent had a couple opportunities to push last that kind of failed, which I think mostly revolved around either maybe not necessarily spotting like how Froyo was holding, or not being all ready to go in at the same time, because there were a couple times where the first 1 second of the Uber ended up being like a solo, which isn't that amazing because you want to make sure that you can get someone in like immediately to, like, if it's Podolsky sticking stuff, or like a soldier just making the jump in as soon as the Ubers are popped off, or if there's a pyro and you didn't bring a demo in the Uber, that's going to hurt you a lot. So they had some opportunities but just weren't able to convert them to be able to take this map. So Freya will just take it.
I definitely think the last pushes on this map in particular were really what separated them. Ascent actually like significantly outfragged Froyo, which means they were winning more fights, but they just weren't winning the fights on last, which are arguably the most or second most important type of fights to win, because you win the round because of them. It's just it felt like they didn't have the direction they needed to hold the to like actually push into the last. Like their calls seemed a little iffy, I think. And then when they were actually holding last themselves, it seems like they continually made positioning mistakes. It's just like let Froyo come in and take the round from them.
Yeah, that was one of the things I would say is what I noticed. Ascent, I can't remember if they won a round specifically where they were, on their second or on their last and then brought it all the way back. But in general, froyotech always found opportunity to push out when they were on their second. That was in that first half, they found that opportunity when they were at an Uber disadvantage. They still pushed out through the battlements and found the kills they needed and started working their way in. Do you think that was like maybe specifically one of the main differences between Ascent and Froyo is that ability to push, when they're down and find those openings, or is that just kind of the advantage of goalie wash?
I think generally it's not that Ascent wasn't able to do that. It's just, I don't know, Froyo kind of has a confidence at this point and a swagger in the way that they play that they they're more willing to go for that, and I think just by the nature of it and the way that like their focus fire is so spot on that they'll just win those in spots that other teams might not be able to. Like the level of coordination that they have just allows them to power through teams in situations that really kind of doesn't make sense, but they do it anyway.
So, yeah, with that, we can just do a kind of brief look over at these stats while we get some people to interview. They'll be sitting in the interview me real quick, and then we'll be putting them online. One of the stats I see, of course, is Banny doing the most damage for his team. But what really interests me is the fact that Corsa and Slemnish had so many frags, outfragging everyone in the opposing team. And yeah, that's like just an incredible stat line. I really don't know how you can go practically 2-1 KD and almost hit 50 frags in a 50-minute game. That's insanity.
They definitely were playing well individually, I think. I don't think anybody in this series was like underperforming in the sense of the word. It was just everything coming together that I think really separated them.
Yeah, I think a lot of Slem's frags too were really good sniper picks, so that'll really help affect your KD because you'll be able to get the kill and not necessarily die for it as long as you're in a safe spot. And then Course has always been like a centerpiece for the way the Ascent combo works, so it only makes sense that, especially because he's playing Scout, that he'll be able to get a lot of kills. Especially like, I wouldn't, maybe not so much on Gully Wash you'd expect, because it is more of like a soldier map, but at least for Corsa, he's pretty good at Gully Wash, so it would make sense for him.
Gotcha. So with that, do you guys want to join our champions? Banny and Habib have joined us. They're in the interview channel. I'm gonna link them here very shortly. Hopefully, they'll not be talking about anything ridiculous. Hello, the interview channel. Is Banny and Habib here? No, they need to join the main channel. Let's do that then. Let's
Yeah,
just
the
pull them right in.
admin permissions and
There
stuff.
we go. That works. This is much more sensible. There you go. Now you guys can talk.
Hi.
Hello. Hi.
Yo.
Everyone in. All right. Hello, Banny and Habib, my friends. How are you guys feeling being the season 27 champions? Like this right moment, this very moment, how are you feeling?
Feeling pretty good, you know? A lot of pressure off of us and onto them, I guess.
Yeah, it was definitely a pretty good series.
Habib,
Oh no.
not this.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, let's fix that mic issue and then try that again.
All right. Honestly, great games played by Ascent. They gave us they punished us pretty well for the dumb mistakes that we made. They weren't able to do that in the past, so kudos to them. They gave us a really good series. No resident sleeper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah, that score line, we didn't get to see it, and we're sorry about all the server hopping. We appreciate you guys doing that for us until we could try to get an STV. But that first ended in a 5-4, and all we really saw was just a view from Shade's stream. So we technically already had kind of an insight to what you guys were talking about during that match. But what were you feeling for Metalworks, like as it was winding down back and forth?
Well, the reasons we were losing rounds was because of some pretty silly mistakes, like giving their sniper free shots and then just having some strange mids. It was the second half was basically all the mid fight, and then the last hold, like that was all it was. So there wasn't a lot of team pushing, and I feel like that's been a big thing that we have over Ascent, is that we just push better. But when it comes to like mids and lasts, it can be kind of hard to have a definitive advantage one way or the other.
Yeah, especially because like when we're also in the middle of like talking about what goes wrong, like in the actual present situation, sometimes we were like slipping up to like we were like one of the mids. I literally like killed 2 people, but then Nursey like got 3 kills and like got the cap. That was insane by her. Pretty nice play. But yeah, we definitely do talk a lot about things that happened in the past, and then once we started like readjusting and then collecting ourselves, we were able to close out the games.
Speaking of Nursey, that one Uber saw escape during Gully Wash. Any comment?
Well, the plan there was to let Nursey just run around and we would run and kill their spawners, which actually in the end ends up working out for us because we would have run into like 4 people. But I don't know. Shade got Ubersawed, and then it got extended so long, and then I think I got Ubersawed, and it's just like, okay, whatever. At least we still have Uber ad, so we just pushed after that. But yeah, we probably should have not let that happen.
Yeah, what can you do? But do my analysts have any questions, any facilitating queries about the match they saw tonight?
I'm kind of curious about the Metalworks pick. I mean, I know there's only so many maps to choose from, but I don't think people would imagine like, oh yeah, this is our go-to map that we're gonna pick. So, can you tell us a little bit why you decided to pick Metalworks as the map one out of all the maps you could have chose?
Well, if the first half is any indicator, I think we were pretty confident on the map. It tends to be pretty demo man centric, and Habib has just, I don't know, he has a way of controlling that map, so we felt it would be a good choice for us. It's interesting more to me that they started like gravitating towards Gully Wash, because that used to be our like main pick, and then for some reason they felt like they should start picking it. But once they do that, I mean, we feel really confident because that's been a map we've been really good on.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a mistake that they picked Gully Wash?
Yeah, I mean, considering the fact that we've played them on it in the upper bracket, we played them on it in the Essentials Cups, like, they've just been catching L's on that map over and over again, but they just want to keep trying. But, I mean, I guess they can continue to do so, but yeah, I think they should have gone for something a little bit more, I don't know, a wild card maybe, or just their safe bet, which was Snakewater.
Yeah, I was honestly expecting either Snakewater or Sunshine, or maybe even like Badlands, but we insta-banned that. That's not a fun map. Honestly speaking, yeah, Gully Wash, it's always been our strong suit, especially mine. Like, it's my playground. But you know, they're quite good at it as well. So I guess they were like maybe rolling a dice with it, really.
Any other queries from my analyst desk?
I'm just here to talk about off classes, and Froyo does an off class, so
We should have.
I'm negated.
That's not
Porky.
true. We had some miracle holds running Pyro and.
Oh, I
Ninja.
guess when he said off classes, I meant like
Oh, yeah,
killer
no.
killer classes like Spy and
Yeah.
Sniper, really.
Specialist.
Yeah, I'm a gimmick player. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that's the question. How come when you guys see a last hold from the enemy team and they have an engineer, you guys don't? I feel like you guys don't try to like run a sniper, and you just like still do the normal sacks, but you know there's a gun that's just gonna insta kill you guys down. Is it like? Are you just more confident in like playing the normal like generalist classes, or?
To be honest, I don't think we probably spotted it properly if we were sending sacks when they have Sentry. I guess we did that on Metalworks, but
Yeah.
on Gully Wash, usually we were trying to move like fast enough where they wouldn't have time to set that up if we were going to, and I don't think they really worked a Sentry during any of like the longer stalemates. But yeah, on Metalworks when they busted out the Sentry, we did just keep going for sacks. We struggled to push last there because we were getting like caught off guard by the sniper, and then like we kept having like unfortunate deaths where like we'd nearly trade another player with them, but then they'd just barely survive, so we just had to call things off. So we were just trying to like get things in motion by sacking, I guess.
So just to kind of wind things down, what is the next step? Is there any roster changes on the horizon for froyotech? Anyone retiring, hanging up their weapons, or anything going on?
Any upcoming lands?
That is
Well,
also good.
Nothing to announce on either front, to be honest. We haven't really had those conversations yet as a team, but I mean, my impression is everyone's been pretty happy with the team, and you know, we've been undefeated with the addition of Yomps at both Rewind and in the Essentials Cups and in ESEA, so it's been really good so far having this new roster.
Yep.
Is there any desire as a team to try and take the next, like, try and take another international title, head overseas to I-63? Like, or is that still just no desire there?
Mm,
Well, I-63 is not really something we're planning on at the moment. I think as far as international titles go, I think Rewind is the definitive international LAN at this point. But hopefully there'll be some
Yeah,
excitement
something.
around it. I don't know.
Some small maybe. You never know. Hint, hint.
Or are we talking about the new NA Pug Squad going out to represent NA?
Whoa, whoa,
Well,
whoa, 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 whoa.
Honestly,
whoa,
if anything
whoa.
happens, that's probably going to be the extent of it.
Yeah,
Because,
likely.
I mean, this would be a topic for another time, but we don't really feel like Insomnia LAN is really a good event to have a top level TF2 tournament at. It's good for community LAN, but something like Rewind, I think, set the bar higher than anything else, and that's what we should be looking to, like, emulate those kinds of events.
All right. Well, thank you, Banny and Habib. Congratulations on
Thank you.
another invite title. I lost count now. I don't think I have enough fingers
It's been
on my
5.
hands
It's been
to count
5.
for you, Banny.
Oh. Yeah, I think it's 16 for me.
Jesus. There's a reason they call him the greatest of all time. And thank you, Bot Mode and Jarrett and Pete, for being an analyst desk. Ro, thank you for being my co-caster. It's getting late though, and I think you guys want to go celebrate. I think some of these guys want to head off to bed. But thank you everyone for tuning in for what has been a rocky season in terms of STVs, but still another
Yeah, that
great
sucks.
ESEA season.
Yeah, it was a good season. Sucks about the STVs. I think we really need to make sure that gets solved. I'm actually hoping for some changes to ESEA for next season, but I gotta talk to them to see what they're capable of doing.
What do you have in mind, Banny?
Well, so this season I had a proposal to the community about playing invite, being more professional, and not forfeiting matches, no dead teams, etc. And we actually managed to have a season with no dead teams, which is pretty good. I think it's been a while since we pulled that off. I'd like for those kinds of things to be just like incorporated into ESEA.
Not something that's
Just
like
a
outside of the
restructuring.
league.
Yeah, a restructuring of the league to promote people playing at the highest level and in a professional way. That's what I'd be interested in, but I'd have to talk to them about it. I'd love to see ESEA LAN return, of course. I'd love to see ESEA in Europe again. I'd love to see an ESEA medal, things of this nature.
Right.
Yeah, Europe especially could definitely use the ESEA now.
Yeah.
on that note, we'll sign things off. Huge shout out to Console, our camera guy, rocking us through this wonderful one map of a 2-map series. Thank you to Banny and Habib for joining us, our analyst, Bot Mode, Jarrett, Pete, Dreamboat, and myself, Ro. We thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next season, which starts May 15th. I see it on the ESEA page. So, yeah.
Have a good evening, everybody. Drive safe.
See ya.